morning, everyone, and welcome. Let's see, let's start with a nice long spine and long, smooth breaths. So when we were talking about what everybody wanted to work on, it's kind of like clear that the spine is our focus, and of course the things that attach to the spine. So as you settle in and you connect to your breath, I want you to start to make circles with your body and feel kind of what connects to the floor as you're moving, and how does it feel in your upper back, your mid back, the low back as you're making those circles. And we're going to pause and go in the other direction. And you're going to keep breathing as you're moving. Now, did I say pause and go in the other direction?
Yes.
Thank you. Because you just never know. So now I want you to stop with the circling, and let's reach those arms up towards the sky. We're going to inhale up, and as you exhale, I want you to reach with your fingertips and take one arm forward and one arm back. Inhale, come back up, and exhale to the second side. And again, we're using this as an exploration to see how that spine is feeling as you breathe. Now, next time you finish your second side and come back to the center, your fingertips are still reaching up. We're going to bring the hands towards one another. And then as you exhale, the heels of the hands are pressing together. You're going to come to the heart center. And then we're going to inhale up, still pressing those hands together, and exhale down. And you're noticing as you're doing this, what's happening in your back body, right? Now, when your hands get to your heart center this last time, after doing that exploration, how your back's feeling, thinking about how you want to feel when we're done with practice today, setting your intention, and bowing the head to the heart, heart to the earth. And then when you release your hands, we're going to roll through those shoulders, inhaling up, exhaling, sliding down the back body. And then we're going to take the left hand down, right arm up towards the sky. We're going to reach over to the side. And you're keeping your butt pressing into the ground. Inhale up and exhale down to the second side. And let's do that back and forth a few times with your breath. Again, noticing all those wonderful and interesting sensations as you're moving. Now, the next time that you finish on your second side, we're going to pause in the center and stretch out your legs, and let's have our knees bent and our feet wide. And you're going to take your hands onto your legs. Inhale is going to be body upright. Exhale, you're going to round down towards the ground, chin towards the chest, so we're letting the back be rounded. And you're breathing and you're noticing again, how does that back body feel? Inhale up and exhale down. We're going to do it one or two more times, remembering that this absolutely is meant to explore and stretch and not to hurt. Now, next time you come up, let's extend one leg forward, let's say your right leg, and without using your hands, you're going to bring your left foot in, and your body is facing your straight leg. Right? And we're going to start with the hands on the leg. Now, I want you to flex that foot, right? And if your knee is wiggling in the air, put a blanket or a block underneath so that it's supported. So we're gonna inhale up, exhale, slide down. And we'll do that 3 times. Inhale up, exhale, slide down. And then our third time, we're gonna stay down and you're gonna take your hands wherever they come to on your leg. And you're gonna take your left hand to the outside of the right foot. And then the other hand is gonna come onto the ground and you're gonna press down with those fingers so that you can pivot your body away from your bent knee. Does that make sense to everybody? Okay, and you're gonna keep breathing. One more nice big breath. And then on the exhale, turn your body back towards the leg and inhale, slide up. Now let's extend both of those arms up. And here, I want you to notice where your arms are, right? And you're gonna keep them in line with your ears. Inhale, body up. Exhale, you're gonna come forward, but not drop your arms. You're only going to come forward as far as you can keep your arms in line with your ears. And feel the weight of extending that lever, right? Inhale up, exhale forward. And as you're exhaling, I want you to notice the engagement of your diaphragm, of your core. Inhale is up, exhale is forward. We're gonna do it one more time. And I can feel myself like heating right up. I don't know about any of you. Now, the next time that you come up, you're gonna relax the arms. You're gonna stretch out that leg that was bent. Before we do the second side, we're gonna have the hands on our legs. We're gonna inhale, body up, and exhale, slide down, letting the back round. And you're just gonna do that a few times with your breath. Inhale up, exhale down. Now the next time that you're up, we're going to take the right foot, and again, without using your hands, bring it into the inner thigh. If it's up in the air, you're gonna place something underneath, flex that foot. And if you're not sure if it matters, let it go and then flex the foot and notice how it's like a train. You flex the foot and all the muscles of the body start to engage. Hand is on your thigh. Inhale, hands are on your thigh. Inhale up, exhale, slide down. Moving with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. Now, the next time that you come forward, we're gonna stay forward, and then you're going to take your right hand to the outside of the left foot, left hand, elbow bends, hand is on the ground. You're extending your body and pivoting away from your bent knee. You're still breathing. And what we're noticing, can we feel the different muscles in our back body as we're doing this twist? You're still gonna keep breathing. Now one more nice big breath, and on that exhale, we're gonna turn back towards the leg, take your hands onto the leg, and inhale, sit on up. We're gonna extend those arms. So this is where I want you to really explore engaging your core. Inhale up, arms are gonna stay in line with your ears or wherever they are extended, and you're gonna exhale forward. Inhale up, and exhale, come forward. And one more time. And when you come up this last time, relaxing your arms, stretching out your second leg, hands on your legs, inhale, body up, exhale, sliding down. Coming back to your center, noticing how your body is feeling. Now, when you come up, how did that feel, by the way? Good. Okay, we're gonna take those tennis balls and we're going to bend to the knees. So when you're in there, grab some tennis balls and definitely a bolster. Okay. You're gonna take your tennis balls and place them behind your back body, slide into those tennis balls, and you're going to pivot your body side to side or front to back. What I'm hoping for is you're gonna stretch the muscles of the low back behind the pelvis. You're gonna keep breathing no matter what we do. Now, if you want to, you can roll those tennis balls up a little bit and your body back more, or vice versa, tennis balls closer. But we're going to do this for a couple more breaths, and then we're going to make our way onto our hands and knees. All right, so when you feel complete with that, we're going to put those tennis balls to the side. If you like a blanket under your knees or anything for padding, you're going to go ahead and set that up. And you want to make sure it's smooth and not too bumpy so that you feel comfortable. Look at all that stuff you have. All right, now, knees are as wide as your hips, slightly behind the hips. Wrists are slightly in front of your shoulders. Fingers are spread, and I want you to look at your index fingers. We're going to point our index fingers straight away from us. Okay. Now I want you to use your whole hand so that all the weight's not in your wrist. And then we're going to inhale up here with a flat back and exhale, slide down towards the ground. Moving with your breath, inhale is up, exhale, down towards the ground, towards child's pose. And this is one of my favorite stretches for the back body, because depending on how close your knees are together, you can actually access almost all of your back muscles as you're breathing in and out. Now, next time you come up into that tabletop position, we're going to try something that we haven't done in a while, but we're going to explore using a sound as you exhale. And the sound that we're going to use today is ah, like AH. So you're going to inhale up with a flat back, exhale round the back body as you're saying the sound ah. You can say it aloud or in your head. Let's do it 2 more times. Inhale up. And last time. Now when you're down here, we're going to stay down this time. Walk your hands over to one side and reach your hip over to the opposite side. So you're in child's pose, right? Come into child's pose, right? And then you're going to walk your hands one way and then shift those hips. Yeah, that's it. And relax your head. Now on an inhale, we'll come through the center and then move to the second side. And you're still breathing long, smooth breaths. And again, we're going to make our way through the center and come on up into that tabletop position. And if you like blocks, when you do a lunge, you're going to take your blocks and put them towards the front of your mat and step forward with your left foot. All right, so here we are. Our front knee is over the ankle. Our feet, well, our front foot and our back knee are hip width apart. And your back foot can be turned under or you can be on the top of the foot, which is ever comfortable, right? And your back knee is behind the hip so that you're opening the front of that hip flexor. And I know we're kind of staying here as I'm talking because I want you to get a nice little stretch in the front of that hip flexor. Okay, now we're going to straighten the front leg, walk the hands back. If you're using blocks, you can take them with you. You're gonna flex that foot, so you're stretching the back of your leg a little bit more. Your hips are above, like where your hips are right over where your knees are. And then you might start to bring your body towards that straight leg. You're gonna keep breathing. Now, we're going to lift the body, walk your hands forward so that that front knee is over the ankle again. You're gonna turn those back toes under and bring yourself up into a lunge. All right, now you're gonna find your balance and start to bring your hands up onto your thigh. Lift the body if that's appropriate for you. And we're gonna use our sound again. Okay, but we're gonna do the movement first so that you get the movement, and then we'll add in the sound. So here we are, front knee is bent, elbows are bent like cacti. Inhale is here, so you're gonna bend that front knee. Exhale, you're gonna straighten the front knee and bring your elbows together. Inhale, exhale. So take your, what's your first name? Tia. Atia. Take your back foot towards the mirror. Like, and this leg is gonna, when this comes together, that leg's straight. Okay? All right. So inhale is going to be, you had it, Ralph. When your elbows are bent and the knee is bent, exhale, straighten the leg, elbows come together, and we're gonna make the sound Last time. Now we're going to inhale back into that position. Exhale, take your hands to the ground and step that back foot forward. And we're just going to inhale halfway up and exhale into your legs. And if you wanted to, as we do our practice, you could make that sound on your exhales. I'm going to invite you to do it in specific places. Now, from our forward bend, we're going to step back with our left foot into our nice deep lunge, and then take your knee gently down to the ground. Your right knee is over the ankle. Your back knee is behind the hip. And we're going to stay here for a couple of breaths and let that hip flexor open up, making sure there's no pain or discomfort. Now, whenever you are ready, you're going to walk your body back, maybe your blocks, straighten the leg, flex the foot, and then possibly start to bring your body towards your knee. Front foot stays flexed. So I'd rather you have your foot flexed than your head on your knee. Right? So notice what's happening in your leg. And of course, never to a place with pain. Now we're going to lift up the body, bend your front leg, walk your hands forward, turn those back toes under, and come up into our lunge. Make sure that you have your balance, feet hip width apart, knee over the ankle, walk your body up safely, and then bring your hands into, I guess some people call them goal posts too. So we're gonna just move for a little bit. Oops. Inhale, arms open, exhale, elbows together and straighten the leg. And then we're gonna add in our sound. So inhale, elbows and knee bent, exhale. Last time. Beautiful. So we're going to inhale, open, exhale, hands down, and step your back foot forward, hands onto your legs. And again, you can use your ah here. Inhale, halfway up. And one more time. And then we're going to inhale all the way up. When you get to the top, roll through your shoulders a couple of times, and then find a tennis ball. One. And so as you're rolling, you're noticing how your foot feels. Anything interesting? Well, I know. I'm like, is the room hot or is it just me? So I'm glad to know that I'm not alone. Now, because we're talking about the back body, I just want to point this out. This part of your foot is your spine, right? So the inside of the arch. Can you all see where I'm touching? So I want you to, because we're focused on the back today, I want you to roll there just to see what sort of sensations you feel there. So, anything? I feel sensation in my foot more towards the heel end. Now I'm going to explore the second side and see. And on my other foot, it's a little bit higher. So it's always just interesting to notice what is. Sometimes when I feel sensation, I go home and I pull out my reflexology chart and see what it correlates to. Sometimes I know because there are specific spots that always talk to me. Okay. I have to stay for just a couple more seconds, then we'll move on.
This is really interesting. It's corresponding to where I have back strength.
I know. And is it like in your head or is it real?
Yeah.
I would say it's real. Okay. So we're going to, hopefully you did both feet. We're going to step off of the tennis balls. Now, what I want, let's grab a block and we're going to put it between your thighs. And you're going to squeeze into the middle, right? So, and what I want you to do, like, so hold on to the tennis ball, to the block without squeezing. And then I want you to squeeze and see where you feel it in your body as you're squeezing. So it's you're just seeing, like when I squeeze together, like obviously I feel that my inner thigh muscles, but my glutes respond, my butt tightens up. And then if I think about it, I can start to feel the engagement of some of my lower abdominal muscles. So now I want you to push that block forward. So you're going to take those inner thighs like you're trying to push the block forward. And then you're going to try to push it back. Notice what happens in your mouth. My tongue always tries to help with these things. All right. And then we're going to hold on to it. And you're going to take your arms at your sides. Inhale is going to be up. Exhale into a chair. And make sure you let your hips go a little bit. Inhale up. Exhale down. And you're moving with your breath, making sure that the low back feels good. Now, we're going to come up onto our toes the next time. So you're going to inhale up onto your toes, stay with the heels lifted, coming into a balanced chair, and we're gonna hold that position and keep breathing. Exhale, you're gonna take your heels down, hands onto your legs, come into a forward bend. And inhale, slide all the way up, roll through those shoulders. And then we're going to do it 3 more times. Inhale, arms up, heels up. Exhale into our balanced chair, heels up if appropriate for us. We're holding the position but still breathing. Right? Breathe, breathe, breathe. On and exhale, heels come down, hands onto your thighs into a forward bend. Inhale, slide all the way up. Exhale, of course. Then we'll inhale, heels up, arms up. This will be our last time. Exhale into our balanced chair if appropriate for your body. Make sure that low back feels good. Keep breathing. Both of you need to release your hips a little bit, if appropriate for your body, right? Now, on an exhale, heels down, hands onto your legs, forward bend, and inhale, slide on up. Now, I'm gonna make my way onto your mat. All of you are on your mat. You're gonna come towards the front of your mat. We're still holding on to that block. And if you have a blanket on your mat, you might move it out of the way so you don't slide on it or anything. And I want you to think about the possibility of having a little bit of fun, because what we're gonna do is a little bit hard, and I want you to see if you can make it kind of fun, okay? So we're gonna inhale up, feet are flat. Exhale, slide down into your forward bend. You're gonna take your hands to the ground, so you bend your knees however much you need to, and you're gonna hop or walk back with your legs into a plank. Kind of fun. And then you're gonna move with your breath. So inhale will be plank. Exhale into our down dog, holding on to our block. Now notice how you're using your hands, index finger pointing forward, fingers spread, using your whole hand and moving with your breath. Now you could do this too with your knees on the ground. Right, and I'm modeling that for any of you here or at home. All right, we're going to do it 2 more times. And the next time you are in down dog, you're going to walk or hop your feet forward. This was the part that I think is kind of fun. And then inhale, slide on up. And we're going to take that block out. You're going to be like, oh, there's so much space here now. How did that feel? Besides like getting you all heated up. Okay, so everybody feels good. I want you to roll through those shoulders a couple of times. And then we're gonna reach up towards the sky, one hand. Keep breathing. Come on up, second side. Come on up. Are we okay for a balance pose right now? All right, so options. Feet flat on the floor, or you can use your block on the lowest level and place your right foot right in the center of it. And you're in the center of the block so that we're not, over to one side so much that the block will flip over. Okay, so your right foot's on the block, you're gonna come up onto the left toes. You're gonna breathe. It would be appropriate to make your way near a wall if needed. All right, now we're going to start to lift that left knee up and point and flex your foot and roll through the ankle. Keep breathing. Woo! Don't watch me.
going to carefully step that foot down to the ground. Come off of the block. And then bring your left foot to the center of the block. And now that everybody knows what we're doing, I want you to still come in just as slowly as you did the first time, right? So you're gonna step up onto the block, come up onto the right toes, decide where, so you probably noticed that I like to have my hands like this, but your hands are however they support you. And then in your own time, you're going to start to lift up that right leg, and you might point and flex your foot, roll through the ankle, keep breathing. You might have one side that's a little bit easier than the other. Obviously today, this one is my side that is agreeing more with me. And then when you start to feel complete, we're gonna come down to the ground, step off of that block. We're gonna do one more. How did that feel? Safe and okay? The other thing is when we do something a little bit new, we sometimes hold our breath. I want you to make sure you keep breathing. Okay, so right foot on the block if you're using the block, and you could do this absolutely with your foot just on the floor. Okay, you're gonna come up onto the left toes, find where your hands want to be. Now we're going to take that foot to our ankle, and then possibly start to slide up the lower leg into a tree pose. Always being safe first. Whoop. And then knee comes forward, foot comes down. Nice. Keep breathing. We're going to do it on the second side. So left foot in the center of the block. Breathe, ground down into your foot and the floor and the block. Come up onto the right toes. Bring that right foot into your left ankle. And then possibly come to the lower leg. Breathe and focus. It is helpful to have a non-moving spot that you look at on the floor. It's also helpful if you don't talk. Just relax. Beautiful. And again, when you're done, knee forward, foot comes down to the ground. We step off of the block. Hands onto your legs. We're going to inhale up, exhale down. So a few times with your breath, inhaling up, exhaling down. All right. Now, we are going to make our way, and you may want a blanket for your knees. We're going to make our way onto our knees with your toes turned under. And some of you may like to have blocks back near your feet. And I'm going to show you, as always, like lots of different ways to do this, so you're going to see. So the first thing is you're going to have your femurs, your thigh bones, perpendicular to the ground. And I like to have my toes turned under. Now, one of the things some of us do when we go into this pose is we drop our butt. I don't want you to drop your butt, right? So you're going to take your right hand out in front and look at your right hand. Your left hand is just resting at your side. You're going to follow that hand up with your eyes and then possibly take it onto your back body. Beautiful. Release that right hand, come back around to the front. Then we're going to do the second side. Bring your left hand forward, vision on that hand. You're inhaling as that hand comes around and comes onto your back body, fingers pointing down towards the ground. Beautiful. Release that hand and bring it forward. How does that feel in the shoulders? So we're kind of checking out before we move into it. Now you're going to take your hands onto your back body, fingers pointing down towards the ground. And you're going to start to press your elbows towards one another, opening up your chest. Right? So we're just staying upright and noticing how that feels. Now, if and only if appropriate for you, you're going to keep your thigh bones straight and start to walk your hands down your back body. Now, I don't like to drop the head, and I don't want anybody else to unless you are in total control. You have the strength in your neck. Do not just let your head drop back. Okay? Now, as you're walking back, you might find those blocks and take your hands onto the blocks. And some of you might start to work your hands onto your heels, but you're only moving in a place that feels really comfortable. And notice when your butt, yep, exactly, I was looking at you. When your butt starts to drop, now we're gonna inhale up, reach those arms up towards the sky, and we're gonna exhale down into a puppy pose. So you're gonna keep your butt up, reach your head towards the ground and stretch those arms out. And you're gonna keep breathing. Now let's walk your hands back, lift your body up. Now if that felt like too much for anyone, I want you to spend a little while just moving your arms and kind of loosening up that upper back body. If it was okay for you, we're going to take the hands back onto the lower back, toes are turned under, start to walk your hands down your back body, maybe finding your blocks or finding your heels, chest stays open, camel pose, Ustrasana, press your hips forward, continue to breathe, don't force anything. And if you can't breathe, that's a real sign that something's not okay. All right, we're gonna inhale up, stretch those arms up, exhale down into your puppy pose. And if you prefer child's pose, you can bring those hips back. And then we're gonna make our way up onto our fingertips, reaching your wrists up towards the sky. And last time, relax those arms, lift yourself up. How are we doing? How's that back feel? A little wonky, stretched, more flexible. And we're all different, you know. All right, so from here, I want you to find your bolster. And if you're at home and you don't have a bolster, you can use folded blankets or towels. We're gonna take that bolster and we're gonna elevate it with a block. And then, and since most of you only have 2 blocks, we're going to take our blanket and you're gonna take it in like a 4-fold and roll it up. Now you're gonna bring your low back as close to that bolster as you can, right? So that you couldn't fit your hand in between there. Nope, you're gonna open it up and roll it this way. Nope, unroll it. The other way, that way. Because we're gonna take this big roll. So I have my low back as close to the bolster as it can be. I'm gonna take my rolled up blanket and my knees are bent, my ankles are together. I'm gonna press that blanket in, open my knees out and bring the bottoms of my feet together. And the blanket holds my legs up so it doesn't let me go too far so I don't overstretch the groin. Is that working for everybody? So knees up, feet on the ground, and then take your blanket and wrap it and pull it tight and then open your legs and you'll feel it you'll feel the resistance of the blanket holding your knees up, and then you're gonna bring your body down onto your bolster. Beautiful, and you're gonna make sure you still lay down. Yes, comfortable? All right, now, you get yourself comfortable, make sure that you feel completely supported, your knees and your body. And at first, we're going to relax the arms on the ground. And if you're ever in this position and your elbows don't come to the ground, I suggest some folded towels or blankets under your elbows so that you can relax completely. And as we settle in, I want you to notice how your body's feeling. And then if, only if, like if you're totally enjoying this and you want to stay, then I want you to do that. If you want to do some movement, we're going to inhale the arms up overhead in line with the ears and exhale them back down. Just moving with your breath, again, only if it enhances and feels really good. Now, again, we're gonna add in one more arm movement. You're gonna take your arms out like cacti again, or goalposts, whatever makes sense to you. Inhale, elbows away. Exhale, elbows come towards one another in front of the chest and face. Doing that 4 or 5 times. And then we're going to settle the arms down onto the ground and relax here for a few minutes. Some of you are going to want to stay as you are. Some of you I'm going to invite to add in a twist. So you're going to take your left knee, bring it onto the right leg, and then turn your head to the left. As you're settling into this position, allowing your exhale to help you soften the body, making sure that everything feels safe and comfortable. Now on your next inhale, we'll bring, those of you moving, bring your head and knees to the center, and then exhale, bring your knees over to the left and the head over to the right. So those of you who are twisted on your inhale, I'm going to invite you to make your way back to the center. And this is the time in class that we're going to make our way into Shavasana, so our final relaxation.
So you're going to decide how you want to be. You can get rid of the bolster and lay flat on the ground, you can put it under your knees. Just get yourself, you can stay in this position if it's super comfortable for you. I want you to get yourself nice and comfortable. However you want to be. Okay, laying down, comfortable, knees supported, neck supported, whatever feels good. You're just gonna lay down. And then possibly as you're relaxing, you might use that sound ah to help you silently in your head, inhaling and then exhaling ah as you continue to relax.
Ganam tva Ganapati Gum Havamahe Kavim Kavinamupamasravastamam Jeshtarajam Brahmanam Brahmanaspata Anashrinvam Nutubisida Saranam Om Shri Maha Ganapataye Namaha. Start to bring your awareness back to your body and your breath, and notice how your body wants to move. Maybe it doesn't want to move. When you eventually get yourself into a seated position, no rush, you do what your body wants. We're going to do what we started with, which are nice, gentle circles with your body, keeping your butt on the floor and noticing how it feels in your back and your stomach as you're moving. And then eventually stopping and going in the other direction. And you'll notice a lot of times I put hands on my body to help me to sense into that part of my body. Right? Now, eventually, we'll come to a place where we stop. And I want you to notice your breath. So, inhale and exhale. And we're using that sound ah today. And so I'm going to invite you to work with that as we breathe. So you're going to inhale, nice big inhale. We're going to exhale the sound ah. And you're going to go until it like starts to feel uncomfortable, like you're dragging out your breath or something. Okay? So nice big inhale. Now I forgot to tell you, whenever you end, you're going to breathe in again and then exhale. So we're not going to all be in unison because we have different breath capacities. So I want you to notice how you feel, right? Like, and you might feel silly if you've never done anything like that before, but I want you to notice, like my face feels tingly, my head feels a little bit tingly. I feel very awake. You know, you might feel a little bit differently. Those are the things that I'm feeling, but just kind of notice what happens with the sound. You know, and if you like it, continue to play with it at home, right? So
but it's like, I like to do something like that when I want to focus, right? And so sometimes I'll do that and then sit in a quiet meditative state for a little bit and then move into whatever I'm doing, like if I'm writing or something, and it really helps me to get my work done. So let's close with our 3 planetary healing sounds. Inhaling our arms up towards the sky, exhaling the sound Q to the heart. Inhaling the arms out, ah to the heart. Ah. And inhale, scooping up from the earth, the sound Om. Let's sit for a minute. Use sound a little bit more than usual, and so noticing if that resonated with you, how the sounds feel in your body, how your body feels now. Our focus was the back body. Of course, we stretched other parts as well and straightened. I want to acknowledge my lineage for the teachings that I have, and I've learned from many different schools of yoga, but the one that I am most connected to is teaching and learning in the tradition of Krishnamacharya. So I thank you for joining me. Namaste.
Namaste.